What if you could learn AWS in just 40 days, even if you were a complete beginner? Most people struggle with AWS because too many random tutorials, no clear roadmap, no real hands-on practice. That's why I created a complete AWS course in just 40 days. A step-by-step roadmap to take you from zero to confident cloud engineer. This is not just theory. Every topic includes hands-on demo, real-world examples, and practice learning. So if you are serious about learning AWS and build your careers in cloud, subscribe to the channel right now and follow this 40 days journey with me. So in the screen, you can see the Git repository of this channel. And now I'll talk about the course curriculum and the course outline. So this is the Git repo, and this is the channel playlist URL. So this is the channel URL, and this is the channel playlist URL, and this is the Git repo. When I upload any documentation, you can get those things in the Git repo. So in the AWS 40-day journey, I make it 8 phases. So in the first phase, I will discuss about cloud and AWS fundamental. So we are now talking day 0, which is course outline. So in the day 1, we'll discuss about cloud compute basic, where I'll discuss IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, and public, private, and hybrid cloud. And also I will show you a hands-on demo to deploy EC2 instance in AWS. In the day 2, we'll discuss about AWS introduction, where I will discuss how to create an AWS account, and what is the free tier option, and which service are included in the free tier, and how long and how the limit of the free tiers. I will discuss of these things and that day. And I also talk about MFA setup, and this is the very important setup because you already know AWS service is very expensive. So if your account is compromised, then we'll get lots of cost. That's why we need to use 2FFA. So this is the MFA setup. I will show these things in that day. Also, there is option budget setup. This one also very important topics in AWS, because we will do some like limit, like if our users is going to touch $1 or $5, then we get a notification. It could be sent by email, or it could be SMS. So we will prefer to use email. So these two things are very important to maintain our cost. And we will also talk regions and AWS regions, and like regions is just like data center and availability zone. In the day 3, we'll talk about IAM, and also give a hands-on demo, how to create IAM user, how to create group and policies and roles. In the day 4, I will show you how to set up AWS CLI, how to configure AWS CLI, and I will show you some basic AWS CLI command. And AWS CLI just how to work from CLI prompt. This is AWS CLI. So when we will see that demo, we can understand how easy we can work from CMD or command line. In the day 5, I will show you how to create a key pair, how to create security group, how to connect SSIs from your local PC to your AWS EC2, and we'll show you how to create EC2 instance and the pricing of the EC2 and the instance type. The instance type is like how the server configuration is, like how good like our RAM or storage. This is EC2 instance type. Then in the day 6, we'll discuss EBS. This is very important, interesting topics in AWS. EBS is elastic block storage, and like this feature, we can easily increase our hard disk or storage size on the fly. Our server will not to down, and after create the hard disk, we can attach and mount that volume. We'll discuss the theory first, then we'll show the demo. And day 7, we'll also discuss EFS, elastic file system. This is also very important and interesting topics. This storage like increase elastically. So when our usage is going high, this storage automatically increase. This is elastic file system. It's look like elastic. In the day 8, we'll discuss AAMI. This is Amazon Machine Image. It's look like when you create in server, and we can take the iOS to backup. So complete operating system and what software and what application we are installing that server, we can completely back up those things. This is like AAMI or Amazon Machine Image. We will first create like AMI and show you the hands-on demo. So every class I will focus on hands-on instead of theory. So in the day phase 2, we will talk about networking. So in the networking section, we'll talk in day 9 VPC fundamental, and there I will show you a complete like a lab, how to create VPC, how to create NACL, how to create security group. Everything I will discuss on that video. In the day 10, we'll discuss AWS firewall, like how we can protect our AWS services, like how to security group and NACL. Those things I will discuss in day 10, and we will also discuss elastic IP. This is like kind of static IP. So if you don't want to lose our IP, then we need to use the same IP every time. This is elastic IP or like a static IP. In the day 11, we will talk about VPC peering. VPC peering, just like normally all VPC are isolated, no one can access from another VPC to another VPC. So if you want to sometime need like one VPC access another VPC, then we'll use VPC peering. So first I will show the theory, then I will show the demo how to create VPC peering and how we can access from one VPC to another VPC. In the day 12, we'll talk about AWS load balancer, and I'll talk about application load balancer and network load balancer. So load balancer is like when like our usage is going high, load balancer will divide the load of two servers. If we have two servers, then load balancer will give the load 50% of one server and 50% of another server. So this is load balancer. So load balance. So in the phase 3, we'll talk about storage and database. In the day 13, we'll deep dive into S3, and we'll see how to do the versioning in the S3 and how to create life cycle. Life cycle is kind of like how we can reduce our cost in S3. In the day 14, we will show hands-on demo how to create a static website and host that website in the S3. And the day 15, we'll discuss RDS relational database introduction and launch MySQL or Postgres in AWS RDS. And I try to show you like both way. First, we'll use AWS RDS, and second demo I will show you we create EC2 and deploy MySQL on that EC2 and connect from our local server to that MySQL. That way we can reduce our cost. So both way I will show you how to use MySQL. In day 16, we'll discuss the difference between, this is wrong, you need to like, in day 16 we'll show the difference between EFS, EBS and S3. These three type of storage will show the difference. This is a type mismatch. I will fix this thing when you see the Git repo. In the phase 4, we'll discuss high availability and scaling. High availability, like when our one server is down, then our system is not down, another server will be going up. Or scaling is like when our usage is going high, our server will increase automatically. This thing is high availability and scaling. This is very important topics in cloud and DevOps engineers, because every company wants their system will never going down. So in the day 7, we'll talk about auto scaling group. So auto scaling is automatically scale our server and automatically downgrade our server. In day 18, we'll show the demo how to create launch template and multi-availability zone architecture. We'll show a hands-on demo. Multi-availability server, like our server is like 3 or 4 data center, and launch template is like we'll create AMI image and automatically deploy those things in multi-availability architecture. I'll show those things in hands-on demo. In the day 19, we'll talk about CloudWatch, and we'll show a demo with CloudWatch alarm. Like when anything happen, like our CPU usage is going high, we'll get a notification. So CloudWatch kind of monitoring service of AWS. It will monitor when our usage is going high or when our server is going down. That time they will notify us. That thing will happen by alarming system. And another interesting topic is SNS. Day 20, we'll talk about these things. A simple notification service. So notify us like when anything happen, like when our system is going down or increase our uses, that thing will notify us. There's lots of way AWS will notify us. It could be email, it could be Slack, or it could be SMS. Lots of things, lots of options basically available how to get notified by AWS. And day 21 we'll talk about SQS. It is like simple query service. So first we'll discuss what is SQS and we'll show the demo. In the phase 5 we'll talk about serverless and modern AWS system. In the day 20 we'll talk about Lambda introduction, what is Lambda, and we'll show a hands-on demo. In the day 23 we'll create a first Lambda function. It's like a full demo. And day 24 we'll show you what is API gateway and show you how to create API gateway and how to use API gateway. In day 25 we'll show Lambda plus API integration and event-driven architecture setup function overview. It's a complete hands-on demo. In phase 6 we'll show you how to use container and Kubernetes in AWS. So like if you don't have any basic knowledge of Docker, we'll discuss complete Docker basics in those class. So it will be like a Docker basics introduction, and we'll show everything in hands-on demo. And if you want like more information or like want to know like details on Docker, you can see my another playlist which I already created, which is 60 DevOps course. There is a complete topics of Docker. There are lots of things. If you want, you can check that on also. So in the day 27 we'll talk about ECR. This is Elastic Container Registry. And day 28 we'll talk about ECS. Over here, and we deploy a application to that EC2 by Fargate. This is very interesting, and this class will completely hands-on demo. In day 29 we'll show you EKS, Elastic Kubernetes System. So it is like a Kubernetes used in AWS. So this is EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. We'll first explain what is EKS, how we can use EKS. Then we will deploy a application to that EKS with load balancer and EKS. In the phase 7 we'll talk about DevOps on AWS. So how to use AWS perception of the DevOps. So before in the 6-day dev course we'll see how to use Jenkins, how to use Git repo. Those things we can use in AWS. Like code commit is kinda a Git. So the AWS topics is Git, or AWS service is Git. So we'll talk in day 13 we'll talk about how to use Git and what is Git commit, code commit, and we'll show hands-on demo. In day 31 we'll talk about CodeBuild, how to build an application and deploy that application to any server. We'll show this thing in hands-on demo. Then in day 32 we'll talk about what is CodeDeploy with hands-on demo, and day 33 we'll show how to create a CodePipeline with hands-on demo. In day 34 we'll see complete CI/CD pipeline demo, like in AWS, how you can use complete CI/CD pipeline in AWS. In this day 34 class, completely hands-on demo. Day 35 we'll talk about infrastructure as a code. We already know what is infrastructure as a code. Infrastructure code is like when we'll need an infrastructure in AWS or any GCP or any cloud architecture, we are using infrastructure by code. Like we can type any code and our infrastructure will create it by the instruction of that code. So in AWS, this thing is cloud formation. So we do any code, and by this code our infrastructure will be created. And day 36, this is Terraform. This is another infrastructure code, but Terraform is work in all AWS cloud, like AWS, GCP, Azure. Every infrastructure is working with AWS. In day 37, we'll talk about AWS CloudTrail, and day 38, we'll talk about AWS Secret Manager, WAF, and Guard Duty. These are like security purpose using AWS. In the day phase 8, we'll show 2 demo of real-world projects. First demo is deploy high availability web application with EC2, application load balancer, and security auto scaling group. These three combination will show a complete high availability website application deploy to AWS. And in day 40, we'll show another project which is container application on EKS. So in this demo, we'll like deploy application, complete application to AWS EKS server. So this is the overview of our 40 days DevOps course. So I hope you like this and make sure you get this repository in that URL. This is the Git repository of this course, and the playlist URL is this for English version, and the channel list is this. And make sure when you see this repository, make sure you put a star. That way this channel will be grow up, so it will help for me. In the next video, we'll start the cloud computing basic and launch our first instance. So that's all for today's class. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Bye.